Alright guys, let's do the words of wisdom. Proverbs 13:1. A wise son accepts his father's discipline, but a scoffer does not listen to rebuke. Another awesome thing about a bike like this is you really get to use them for all it's worth. And you get to use them in a completely different way. Like going on the grass at the speed limit is just as awesome as exceeding the speed limit going on the asphalt. But there's something unique and something special about using a motorcycle for 100% of what it can do. You know, when you get up to 60 miles an hour, if you redlined every single gear, power shifted everything, you know what I mean, and went through all 6 gears before you hit that speed, that's pretty cool. You know, like that's fun. And when it comes to like you and let me put the choke back in. When it comes to like you racing your buddies, you know, you guys can have the most intense races. I'm talking intense, head to head, you know, fighting it out for the battle of number 1 and never actually do anything illegal or exceed the speed limit. You know, in your mind, you're like, oh, you're trying to squeeze out every inch, you're chucking low, and you're, you know, just doing fun stuff that guys do when we're around each other with motorcycles. And then a cop's sitting there watching you, and he's like, just drinking his coffee. He's like, well, they're going 10 miles an hour below the speed limit. So I'm in top gear and doing the speed limit. I feel comfortable. It feels safe. You roll on the throttle, and you know, in a couple minutes, you go faster. I'm actually surprised. A lot of times you ride enduro bikes, and they just feel a little goofy. We were actually riding a BMW that had really knobby, like these were like 100% dirt tires, and I didn't like the way it felt. This actually feels really good. You'd think that the big back tire would just make it feel different. It doesn't. It feels great. I'm actually very impressed with how it feels. And no guys, we are gonna do 0 to 60. It is questionable whether 60 is possible on this bike. Actually, I think the older ones had a top speed of 60, 65. And this one should have a top speed of 75, which is the speed limit. And we're gonna find that out. Now, I'm 6'2". I feel great. I think this is pretty comfortable. I feel really great, actually. Yeah. Yeah. Oh man, this bike's awesome. I'm being honest, that felt as comfortable, if not more comfortable, than riding this thing on the road. I love this bike. This thing is so much fun. You can't do that on other bikes. You shouldn't do that on other bikes. The places that this bike can take me, the trouble that I would find with this bike just blow my mind away. And it's the perfect season. Yeah, that's what I was saying. I'm 6'2". I feel great. I feel great on this bike. It just fits me like a, you know, like a small dirt bike. I don't feel cramped. And listen, I'm gonna admit, I will admit this. I made fun of people who rode bikes like this. I was so ignorant of what this bike was. And it was a time in my life where it was like, it's all about fast. Faster is better. Faster is better. How fast is that bike? Oh, my bike's faster. You know what I mean? And that's all that mattered. I've grown past that. And I can just enjoy all different types of riding. That you can't not love this. You know, where the speed you're going, honestly, if you wreck, you're gonna be okay. But just the possibilities. You know, it's so cool to go to a new spot and see some dirt road and be like, well, I can, what's down there? And then you go and find it. You take your buddies and you look at that. I want to go down that. What's going on? I could drive down there with this. Doing little jumps. You know, these bikes are indestructible. You can't beat them. Man, this thing's fun. All right, let's do 0 to 60. Let's see if this thing is as fast as we all hope it is. Honestly, this is like an apocalypse bike. As long as this thing can resist a EMP, which I'm sure it can. I mean, the gauges are like the little things that turn. Let's do this. All right, 40, no, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70, 71, 72, 73. I could have done it. I could have got it. Now, even though me going as fast as I possibly could to get to the speed limit barely got me on the highway going the speed limit, it was still a blast. And I gotta say that, you know, I'm cruising on the highway. This thing feels fairly stable. It's not something I would want to do for long periods of time, but I'm actually pretty comfortable. So if you got to do a couple exits, you know, 10, 20 miles on the highway, hey, it'll be all right. This will be fine. The problem is, what's enticing me is jumping off the highway and driving through that. Now, my shop is actually on the other side of that, but there's like a railroad and a fence, and I don't think I would make it. But I could try. Whoa! I don't know if you guys saw that, but that was a big piece of metal. It actually cruises pretty well at 65 miles an hour, which is the speed limit. Now we priced this bike out to be a better deal than a new one. Now this was only purchased a couple months ago, so this is gonna have the same warranty, just minus a couple months. It's in perfect shape. And then what you're gonna see is you're gonna see their list price and you're gonna see our list price. Their list price has a lot of fees that aren't included. Freight, prep, you're probably looking at maybe $700 to $900 more than what they're saying. If you're out of town and you're buying our bike, that's all you pay it. Just that's the price. If you're in town, you gotta pay your taxes and registration and stuff like that, but there's no like freight prep, there's no goofy other stuff. So that's why our price might be I don't know, a couple $100 less when you actually dial in the numbers. And I would expect that you would do this. You know, actually dial in the numbers and call the place, be like, listen, out the door, what's out the door price, and see what it is. You're gonna save a lot of money buying this from us. I'm about to shred this corner up here. Bam! This thing handles like a boss. And the thing is, you would feel just as comfortable okay, that was not a very fast corner, but you would feel just as comfortable doing that exact same thing on dirt. You would want to do it a different way, you know what I mean? You'd be more like, you know, kicking the back end sideways. Man, this would be a fun bike to have on like this is farm equipment. If you had a plot of land, the amount of fun you would have just shredding this bike up, kicking it sideways on the gravel, you know what I mean? I love it. I love this bike. You know what? Forget it. I'm keeping it. All right, guys, that wraps it up for the TW200. Great video. This video was brought to you by M1 Moto Gloves and also RiderShare. Check out RiderShare. RiderShare is a company based out of California, but they let you rent. You could rent people's bikes, and you could rent your bike out to people to either make money or rent an awesome bike. So check that out. Look up on your phone or on your computer, ridershare.com. It's like Turo, but for motorcycles. It's like Airbnb, but for motorcycles. We'll see you guys later. And remember, it is not what you're riding, but where are you going?